Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. In today's video, we're going to talk about the shell radical. Now let's get the 田字格 ready and the pens ready. First of all, let's take a look at the shell character, 贝. It's pretty simple. Bei. It's the shell character. And here is the evolution of the bei. And you can see it's evolved from the shape of a shell. And to turn the shell characters into the shell radical, so we need to squeeze it to the left side. And sometimes it could be at the bottom, this way. So they are the shell radical. And the shell radical is usually related to money, fortune, treasure, business, and some activities or personality related to the money. But why the shells related to money? Well, here's a little bit of historical background. There was a time people used shell as the currency. I know, in modern days we use cash, which is made of paper, or we can use just digital money on the phone. But before we can make the paper money, people use metal to make money, like the coins, like gold coins, silver coins. But before people can make metal money, people use shell as currency. That was in a very, very ancient time. So that explained why the shell radical is related to money. And now let's get into the example of the shell radical. First category, the shell radical is related to money or fortune or treasure. Okay, the first one. 财, 财, it just means money. For example, we can say 财 产, 财产. 财 is the money. 产, it could means to produce or production. So money, the production, they make property. And then the next one, once you have property, you will li. 财 li, it could means to manage or to handle. 财 is the money. So 理财 is to manage the money. Like you can do some investment or you can save it in the bank, etc. So that is 理财, to manage the money. And the third one, 招 财 猫 招财猫. It's a very cute word actually. You can see on the left side of the 招, here is the hand radical. So it has something to do with the hand. And 招, it could means recruit or to wave hand Okay, and then 财 is the money. We already know that. And 猫, you can see on the left side of the 猫, we have the animal radical. We just mentioned about it a few weeks ago in the animal radical videos. And 猫 is the cat. So 招财猫 is that cat, as you can see in the picture. It's a very lucky symbol in the Chinese culture. And usually if you walk into a Chinese restaurant, you can see there is a 招财猫 on the reception. If it's an electric one, then you can see the hands waving. That's the 招财猫, which means waving hands to the fortune, attracting the fortune to come. Moving on to the next example, we have the shell radical is at the bottom. 资 which means capital. I mean the capital, the money, capital. For example, you can say 资金 capital. And the 金, we just mentioned about it in the metal radical videos. The 金 is gold. And 资金 together, it just means capital. The capital, the money in general. Okay? And let's be more practical. We have 工 资 工 is to work, like we have 工作 work. 工作 which means work. So we have the 工 here. The 工 means work. And 资 is the capital. And capital means money, right? So the work money make salary. And if you got money, if you got capital, and then the next thing you can do is投资 again, you can see on the left side of the 投 we have a hand radical. Again, the 头 and the 招, they all have the hand radical. Okay, and the 头 itself, it means to throw or to cast. Okay, and then 资 is the capital, the money. So you throw the money, you cast the money somewhere, and that would make invest. It could be the invest as a verb or just investment as a noun. Moving on to the next one. Gui. Expensive. Yeah. And if you think something is too expensive, then you can say 太贵了，太贵了，太了 it's a pattern which means too much. Okay, too much. And 贵 is expensive. So 太贵了 together is too expensive. So speaking of expensive, of course, we will talk about the opposite of expensive. That would be 便宜。便宜，便宜 it just cheap. Okay? But you need to be careful. This 便 in here, it pronounced as 便, but it could pronounce differently and have a different meaning. I'll list them out here. Same character, but different pronunciation. That is方便 okay? 便 and 便 the 方便 means convenient. So when it pronounced differently, it has different meaning. A little bit of extension. 方便 is convenient, and if you say 方便面 the 面 is noodle, as we mentioned a few videos ago. 方便面 is convenient noodle, and that would make instant noodle. Yeah. Let's continue the second category. The shell radical can be also related to business because you use your money to do business and you can make money out of your business, right? So the first example, Mao. Mao could mean to trade. To get to the word, we can say 贸易. So the mao itself, it could mean trade, and 易 could mean to switch or exchange. Because business is kind of an exchange, right? You exchange your money into products or exchange your products into money, right? So 贸易 together, it's just the trade or trading. Long time ago, when we learned to write the places word, we also learned to write the company, 公司. So let's put it here. 公司. Okay, and the 公司, it means company. So 贸易公司, it just means trade company, trading company. Okay, let's get to the next example. Go. Go could mean to buy or to shop. For example, go.买. Go 买. Go is to buy. 买 is also to buy. I know we have two words for buy in Chinese, but in general, the go is more official and 买 is more spoken. And when you put them together, 购买 is just to buy, and it's a pretty formal word. In everyday life, we usually just say 买. That's simple and easy. But if you're going to write a very formal contract, then you would use 购买 because it sounds more formal. The next example. Go. 物. 购物. Go, which means buy. And the 物, I hope you still remember if you watch my animal radical videos. Here is the ox radical. And the 物 itself, it just means things or stuff. Yeah. 购物, to buy things, to buy stuff. That would be just shopping. And there's a lot of shopping places, and they are go. 物. Zhong. 心. So 购物 is shopping. 中心 is center. So 购物中心, shopping center. But wait a minute. I know how to say shopping mall. That's not this one. That is商场. 商场. The 商 means business, and the 场 means place. So the business place, which make shopping mall. So 商场 is shopping mall. 购物中心 is the shopping center. But if you ask me what's the difference between 商场和购物中心, well, it's like asking me what's the difference between shopping mall and shopping center. So to be honest, I don't feel like there's a big difference between them, but I kind of feel like shopping malls smaller. Shopping center is kind of bigger, I guess. Okay, and then moving on to the next example. 货. 货 is the product, right? Product is very important in the business. So to say product in a word, we can say 货. Wu. Or you can say 货. 品货物 or 货品 they are the product. If you are going to ship your product to somewhere else, then you will need a货车 货 is the product. 车 is the car. We just mentioned about it in the last video. Is the car character. And 货车 product car. The car that carry the product. And that would make a truck. Mean a cargo truck. That's right. And here's another very similar characters I want you to pay attention to. That is dai. Dai. And the meaning of the dai is loan. Okay? Let's take a good look at these two characters. For the 货, the upper part is a people radical, and then you go straight, vertical, curve, and a hook. Okay? As for the dai, people radical, and then it's right falling without a curve, and then a hook, and then a dot. So here is a big curve. Here is not a curve, it's just right falling, and then with an extra dot. To say loan, loan would be dai. Kuan. And the dai could mean loan. And the kuan, it could mean payment, fee. So dai kuan together is just loan. And here's an interesting thing. 货 款 货 we just talked about it, it's the product, and 款 is the payment or fee. So together 货款 it means the product fee. Okay, so you need to be very, very careful. This is 贷款 loan, and this is 货款 the product fee, the product money. And I would like to offer you a little tricks to remember both of them. That is, if you don't have enough money to start your business, then you need to get a loan to pay for the first batch of product, right? So get a loan to get the product fee, 贷款货款. Let's continue. The next example. Zhuan is to earn money. Okay, so to say earn money, we say 赚 钱，赚钱，赚 is to earn, 钱 is the money, so 赚钱. So as you might notice on the left side of the 钱, this is the metal radical. And the metal radical is somehow related to the money too. Because like I mentioned before at the beginning of these videos, before we can make paper money, people use metal to make money, like the gold coin or silver coin. So speaking of earning the money, then of course we are going to talk about the opposite of it, that is pay. Pay is to lose money. Okay, so to say lose money, we can say pay钱. Pay 钱 is to lose money. And actually we have another word for losing the money. You can also say 亏钱. 亏 is also to lose. 钱 is money. So 亏钱 is also losing money. Okay, and the next example, since we have money coming, going, coming, going, then you will have your bill. 账. 账 meaning bill. For example, we can say 账单. 账单 together is just the bill. Let's be more specific. Let's say water bill. Okay, water bill. 水. 费. 账. 单. 水费账单. 水 is water. 费 is the fee. 账单 is the bill. So 水费账单 is the water fee bill. Water bill. And if you want to say the electricity bill, then you just need to replace the 水 to the 电. Dian meaning electricity. So 电费账单 is the electricity fee bill. I know you have noticed it. In the 费 underneath there is also a shell radical, right? So now let's talk a little bit about it. For the 费, fei meaning fee, and 小 fei. xiao, we know that it's small. Fei is fee. The small fee that come along with the thing you buy or the service you buy, that would be the tips. The tips money. So is there 大费, like big fee? I don't think so. By far, I've never heard about anything about big fee, 大费. But we do have a very good word. 免 费 免费 免 is don't have. Fei is the fee. So no need for the fee. That would be free. Not the freedom free, is the free refers to the money. Like you don't need to pay the money. For example, we can say 免费停车停车停 means to stop. 车 is car. That is parking, like car parking. Okay, so together, 免费停车 is free parking. Free parking. Moving on, let's get to the third category. The shell radical can be also related to the activity or the personality that's related to money. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the activity. People can use the money to gamble, right? So gambling is an activity. To gamble, we say 赌 赌 is to gamble. Okay, we can say 赌 博 so 赌博 gamble. And as for the 博, let me extend it a little bit. The 博 actually is a pretty good word. It could mean broad or a lot. So gambling have a lot of money involved. The place where you can gamble, that would be 赌 场 赌 to gamble. And as for the 场, we just mentioned about it in the dirt radical videos. And the dirt radical is related to places or building. And the 场 means place. So the gamble place make casino. As for the gambler, the people who gamble, we can say 赌 图. The 赌 means gamble. The 图 it could means follower. So the follower, that following, gamble, that make gambler. And actually, we have a more negative word for gambler, and that is赌. Gui. 赌 is gamble. Gui is a ghost. So 赌鬼 is a gamble ghost, a gambler. Because we believe that if someone's so into gambling, and that person will lose his or her mind and become a ghost. Actually, I just want to extend it a little bit about the 鬼. We have another very negative word against alcoholic. That is "酒." "鬼." 酒, we've mentioned it many times in the video. The 酒, we have a water radical on the left, obviously, and 酒 means alcohol. And 鬼 is a ghost. So 酒鬼, alcohol ghost, make alcoholic, because we believe that if someone drink too much, he or she will lose the soul and become a ghost. Let's continue the next example. Buy. Buy, it could means lose. Usually is lose the game or lose the competition. For example, you can say 失败. 失败 is to lose, just to lose the game or competition. The original meaning of buy is to lose some money, and then it extended just to lose in the game or competition. So speaking of 失败, of course, we will talk about the opposite, which is 成功. 成功, success. But I want to dive into the detail. The 成, it could be turned into. And as for the 功, it could be merit. So that's kind of interesting. So you worked a lot and finally it turned into merit, and that is success. And let's dive into the 功. There's more details. On the left side of the 功, it's this one. It means to work. And the right side, it means strength. So merit needs a lot of work and strength. That just makes a lot of sense. Next example. Money can shape a person's quality or personality. So the next example is about someone's quality and personality. Tan. Tan is greedy. Let's look closely on top of the tan. this happens to be the 今, as we can see in the 今天, which means today. And actually, the 今 serve as a sound radical in the tan. Wait, 今 and tan, it sounds completely different. How come it serves as a sound radical? Well, hanzi have thousands years of evolution. So back to the ancient time, this character pronounced differently. So back then, people used the ancient sounds of these characters to the tan. I know it sounds complicated and not really helpful. So I would like to offer my understanding of it. I hope it helped you to memorize it. So I would think of it as today and the money, because you only care about the money today. You only ask for more money today, and you really don't care about the future. And that would make you greedy. That's my understanding of it, even though it's not the origin of it, but I hope it helped you to memorize it. Anyway, so for the tan, we can say 贪心. Yeah, 贪 is the greedy. 心, we just learned about it in the heart radical videos. 心 means heart. So greedy heart. Together, it just means greedy as an adjective. And the next word, 贪 污. 贪, it means greedy. And 污, it means pollution or polluted. So greedy and pollution, it make corruption. Moving on to the next example. 贫. The 贫, it means poor. Let's take a good look at the 贫. At the bottom part, it's this one. This is the 分, which means split. I think it really makes sense. It means money was split by other people, and that make you poor. Okay, that's 贫. Different from the 贪. 贪 have this on the top. 贫 have this on the top. Okay, now let's say poor. We can say 贫 穷. 穷 贫穷 together is just poor. To be more specific, 贫 is poor, 穷 is also poor. So together, it's just poor. And to say poor people, you can say 贫穷的人. 人 people, and the is the adjective marker, right? It's the grammar particle. So 贫穷的人 is poor people. And to make it short, you can say just 穷人. 穷人 is short for 贫穷的人. To say poverty as a noun, we can say 贫 kun. 贫 is poor and kun is difficult. Poor and difficult together, it could be just poor as an adjective or poverty as a noun. And you can say 贫困 地 区 地区 it means area. So 贫困地区 is the poor area, the poverty area. Let's continue. The next one. Zay. A zay could means a thief. And we can say 盗 贼 盗贼 is the word for a thief. It's a very, very formal word, an ancient word for thief. And in modern Chinese, in a more casual way to say a thief, you can say 小 偷 小偷 小, we know that, is small. 偷 is to steal. So 小偷 together, it could also means thief, and in a more casual and spoken way. And here's a little bit of cultural background. In Chinese culture, if we call someone 小, either they could be very young or very small, like in small size, or it could be disrespectful. Right. So in here, 小偷, small steal, little steal. So in here, the 小 represent being disrespectful to this person. I know we've been talking about a lot of negative activity, negative personality related to the money. But is there anything positive? Yeah, there are. Let's see. The first one is 贺 贺 It could be celebrate or congratulate. Right. For example, we can say 祝 贺 祝贺 The 祝 can be wish. The 贺 could be celebrate. So 祝贺 it just means congratulations. So if you want to say, oh, congratulations to you, you just need to say 祝贺你 祝贺你 So 祝贺你 is congratulations to you. Okay? And then the next example. 赠 is a gift or gift, but it's the gift that come along with the thing you buy. Okay, so let's get to a word. 赠品赠品赠 is the gift, 品 is the product. So the gift product, 赠品. So here's the example. Now you're going to buy a laptop. So when you're buying the laptop, they also give you a headset for free. So that's the gift. So the headset would be the 赠品 because it comes along with the laptop. So different from the other gifts, like birthday gift, right? Because the birthday gift, you pay for the gift. It doesn't come along with the things that you buy. So as for the gift in general, we say 礼物礼物 it just means the 礼 it means adequate. The 物 means things. So 礼物 is the things to show you're adequate. So that would be just gift in general. And as for the 赠品, it's the gift that come with your purchase. Okay? So that's the difference between 赠品和礼物. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you learned something from this video. If you like this video, don't forget to thank you. And if you want the practice sheet, you can download it from my website, and I will drop the link down below in the description box. And I hope you enjoy it and have fun. And I'm Mandy. I'll see you in the next video.